This you on operational definition. And now type of data. See, now we are concerned about the data. Basically, there are two types of data. One is qualitative, another one is quantitative. If your information cannot be expressed in the form of numbers, that is called qualitative. For example, the brand of the shirt you are wearing. Can you express it in the form of a number? Your name and your hair color, your marital status, all of them are called qualitative data. But your age, your height, your weight, the number of people who are attending the meeting, can I express all these things in the form of number? Those are called quantitative data. So basically, data can be classified into two types. One is qualitative, another one is quantitative. Within quantitative, there are two types, continuous and discrete. What is continuous? Any data that is measurable is called continuous. Can you measure your height? Can you measure your weight? Possible? Can you measure your BP level, sugar level? Can you measure dimension of the product? Can you measure strength of the product, hardness of the product? Can you measure the concentration of the chemical? Can you measure the current flow? Can you measure the voltage? All of them are continuous data. Sometimes you may not be able to measure, rather you will be able to count. How many people are there in the meeting? How many students are studying along with you? How many children are there in your family? How many televisions you have in your house? How many tires your car has got? How do you answer all these questions? By counting. Am I right? Sometimes data is measurable, sometimes data is countable. If it is countable, it is called discrete data. If it is countable, it is called discrete data. If it is measurable, it is called continuous data. All of you understand what is continuous data and what is discrete data? Why am I teaching this? Then only you know which kind of tool can be used to work with the data. Am I right? Now you are going to classify the data into continuous or discrete. Width of a sheet. Tell me, is it continuous or discrete?
Continuous.
Discrete.
Okay, so why are you saying discrete? Width of a sheet, is it discrete?
Continuous.
Number of liners thinned. Number of liners thinned or rejected. Is it continuous or discrete?
Discrete. We can count them.
Number of tubes rejected.
Discrete.
Discrete.
Diameter of a piston.
Continuous.
Continuous.
Height of a man.
Continuous.
Continuous.
Sheet thickness.
Continuous.
Out of 100 sheets, the number that meet the thickness.
Discrete.
Discrete.
Time taken to process a purchase order.
Continuous.
The number of bugs in a software program.
Discrete.
Now you understood the difference between continuous data and discrete data. Is it, am I correct? Right. An MSA, measurement system analysis, you should know what is bias or accuracy. You should know what is stability. You should know what is linearity, resolution, repeatability, and reproducibility. Right? Why MSA? Doing a project is something like driving a car in a highway. You have got only 3 months time. You have to impress the company. At the same time, you have to impress your professor and meet the requirements of the university. Lot of challenges. Am I right? Doing a project involves so many challenges. Is this correct? Or you just download a report and submit it? Come on, tell me. I need an answer. Is it a challenging job?
Challenging job.
Yes.
Exactly. It is a challenging job. You all must recognize that first. Don't take it very lightly. I will consider doing project is something equal to driving a car in a highway. When you are driving a car in a highway, you have to reach the destination within 3 hours, right? And then the road is bending here and there. It is very important that you continuously see the road, drive the car, and reach the destination. Is there anybody here who believes that you can reach the destination by driving the car without seeing the road? Is there anybody capable of reaching the destination, driving the car without seeing the road? That means you must close your eyes and drive the car. And will you be able to reach the destination?
No.
If you collect data with a lot of error, it is equal to driving the car by closing your eyes. We should not do that. Am I right? Because if the data is having an error, will you be able to see the problem? No. Because your data is full of error. Now you can't understand the problem. That means you are not able to see the road, but still you want to drive the car. Don't do that. If the vision is not clear, we immediately switch on the wiper in the car. Same way, if your data has a lot of error, you must immediately do a study called measurement system analysis. If you are not sure your data is clean and correct, if there are a lot of error, how to put on the wiper? Conduct measurement system analysis. And measurement system analysis will confirm the amount of error. What is the requirement? The error should be less than 10%. If it is more than 10%, your data is unworthy. Particularly if it is more than 30%, you must throw away the data. 10 to 30, tolerable limit, but more than 30, intolerable. Do you understand? Importance of MSA. And now,
Yes, sir.
bias, these things I will give you in a simple manner. Bias, what is bias? Imagine you are measuring a dimension. The true dimension is 100 mm. But you are measuring that particular dimension as 102. What is the true value? What is the true value?
100 mm.
100. What is the measured value?
102.
Now, there is a difference of 2 mm. That difference is called bias. When the bias is more, your reading will become inaccurate. Am I right? If you want to make your readings accurate, the bias should be 0. Right? But bias will happen for many reasons. Parallax error may be there. Your equipment will have some error, 0 error. Your equipment may not support, or the instructions are not made very clear, like the confusion we have seen. So bias will happen. So bias will make the vision unclear. You have to be very careful. Anytime you collect the reading, you must understand, are there any bias? And one way you can minimize the bias is, you can take the reading multiple times and then consider using the average. You understand? Take the reading multiple times and then consider using average. If you do the average, bias will be reduced to half. Right? For example, 100. Ranjit takes the reading and he says reading is 102. So there is a bias of how much? 2. Now, Ashutosh takes another reading. He says the reading has 98. But what is the true value? 100. He is saying 102. The other person is saying 98. Now, what will I do? I will take average and use the average in my analysis. When I take the average, what will happen? The bias will cancel each other. Am I right? 98 plus 102 divided by 2. I am able to go closer to the true value. How? Whenever you take multiple reading and take the average, you will be able to go closer to the true value. Ultimately, I want to understand the true value. Clear? That is why we use the statistics called average. Average always minimize the bias. More the number of reading, closer will be the, more closer will be the reading to the true value. And stability. Stability means bias over time. If I collect the reading, spread over a week or spread over a month or spread over 3 months, the change in time should not become a reason for the error. You get my point? When I take the reading in the morning, the equipment gives me a reading. When I use the same equipment in the night time, it gives some other reading. So morning, the bias will be certain value. Evening, the bias is some other value. After 1 week, the bias is some other value. Can I have different bias over different time? Is it allowed? See, I am doing the project over 3 months. I may collect that reading at any time. So my equipment should be stable enough to give me an unbiased reading at all times during the data collection. All of you understand? The bias over time is called stability. If the bias keeps on increasing or keeps on decreasing, then you have a stability issue. If the bias is always constant throughout the data collection, then your readings are stable. Do you understand the meaning of stability? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If my project is 1 year, throughout the 1 year period, for example, I am doing a PhD project. I have got a measuring equipment. I use it for 1 year. Throughout the 1 year, I should have the same bias. How will I maintain? I will calibrate my equipment once in 3 months. Am I correct or not? For example, let us say I have a glucometer to test my sugar level. I purchased the glucometer 2 years before. That time it was giving me accurate reading. Now it is giving me a biased reading. Now, let's say I have recovered from diabetes, but my glucometer is now under bias. This will tell me that I am diabetic, but actual condition is I am not diabetic. So your conclusion can go wrong if you use an equipment which is not stable, where the bias is not stable. If it is stable, you can manage. See, if it is stable, the difference will be at least constant, isn't it? You may not be accurate, but difference will be constant. Another thing is called linearity. Linearity means bias over the range of reading. For example, I have a thermometer. I use it to measure readings from up to 100 degree Fahrenheit. But the same thermometer, I use it to measure 500 degree Fahrenheit. I use the same thermometer to measure 5000 degree Fahrenheit. Do you think the thermometer which I use it to measure the body temperature can also be used to measure the temperature in the boiler? Why? Body temperature will vary around 100 degree Fahrenheit, but boiler temperature 5000. So the equipment working range is very important. If the range is too wide, your readings will become completely biased, isn't it? If the bias will vary heavily with respect to the value of the reading, that is called bias over range of the reading. If the range of the reading is too high, and if the bias keeps on increasing or decreasing, your equipment is said to have the linearity issue. What is required is a linear bias. Linear bias means constant bias. All of you understand what is bias? What is stability? What is linearity? Can I get a yes here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Resolution. Resolution is nothing but least count in your language. What is the least count of the vernier caliper? 0.01. Am I right? Least count of the vernier caliper is 0.01. See, these bias, linearity, stability will lead to accuracy problem. Bias, linearity, stability will lead to accuracy problem. Accuracy means perfection. Perfection means effectiveness. You will come close to true value. There is one more kind of problem. One more kind of problem is consistency problem. You know what is consistency problem? I gave a true value of 100 and Ranjit told me that, sir, this is 102. What is Ranjit reading? 102. I asked the same Ranjit to measure it again. Now Ranjit will tell me, sir, it is 101. Again, I asked Ranjit to measure the same part, same 100 mm. Now Ranjit will tell me, sir, it is 101.5. So the same product has been measured by Ranjit. How many times? 3 times. First time, what was his reading?
102.
Second time?
101.
Third time,
101.5.
but I gave him the same product. He used the same equipment. But when he repeats the experiment, he gave me different reading. You could have done this in all your lab experiment. Am I right? The same boiler, same thermometer, and then you measure the reading, but note down different reading. Will it happen? Has it happened?
Yes.
Yes.
That is called repeatability error. You are not able to repeat your own reading. Equipment is same, conditions are same, procedure is same, individual is same. The individual is called appraiser. Everything is same, but readings are different. This is called a consistency issue. This is called a repeatability issue. This is called one of the precision error. All of you understand what is repeatability?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I am doubtful with Ranjit. So what I do is I now send Ilambardi to collect the reading because I am the project leader. I want to be sure. So the same task has been given to Ilambardi. So Ranjit was telling me 102, 101 and 101.5. Now Ilambardi is going. He measures and he says he gives the first reading as 100.5. He gives second reading as 100.8. He gives third reading as 101. Is it the same thing he is also doing? What Ranjit was doing, Ilambardi was also doing. Ranjit gave me 102, 101 and 101.5. Am I right? 102, 101, 101.5. Ilambardi's readings were, how much was your reading? I said 100.5, 100.8 and then 101. Are the readings matching now or do you still find a difference?
There is a difference, but less. So.
Okay, less, but there is a difference, right? Sometimes it can be huge also. Suppose if you are not equipped enough, you may give completely a different picture. But the task has been same. Whatever temperature Ranjit was measuring, you are also asked to measure the same thing. You are also given the same equipment, same operational definition, but you understood in a different way. All the readings of Ranjit were around 102. Let us say Ilambardi's reading were around 108. First of all, both of you are not accurate. Moreover, both of you are not matching. If you do not match, that leads to consistency issue. Now the issue is called reproducibility error. The readings produced by Ranjit was not reproduced by Ilambardi, or the readings produced by Ilambardi was not reproduced by Ranjit. But both of you are working in the same project. Both of you are measuring the same thing. You are supposed to reproduce the same reading. Am I correct? If at all there is a difference, the difference have to be minimum. So repeatability error should be minimum. Reproducibility error should be minimum. That minimum should be less than 10%. Whenever you see repeatability error cannot be eliminated, open your record book, check all your reading. All your readings will have the repeatability error. All your readings, the kind of readings you noted down and your friend noted down will have a difference. If there is no difference, it simply means you are copied. Isn't it? So always there will be a repeatability error, there will be a reproducibility error. When I combine the two, this error should be less than 10%. If it is not less than 10%, your data is unworthy for analysis. At the maximum, you can tolerate 30%. At the maximum, that too only certain conditions. You need to master why, when it can be 30%, right? But more than 30% never allowed. So the error can be measured. Error can be measured, right? The accuracy can be measured using the average of your reading. The precision error can be measured using the standard deviation of your reading. We are going to understand that, right? Can one of you quickly read out the statement written for repeatability? Please read out.